Dr. Heidi Grant, back with another episode of 3 Things to Do. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, I'm actually filming this episode just shortly after the new year, so it's a perfect time of the year to talk about today's topic, how to stick to a routine. Let's face it, most of the things that we want to build routines around in the new year are difficult, unpleasant, or boring. And so it's really, really hard to create those new routines and stick to them. You're really kind of dealing with 3 kinds of challenges psychologically when it comes to sticking to a new routine. The first is resisting temptation. There's always something a little bit more fun or pleasant to do than stick to your routine, right? So that's one thing we're up against. Another is just dips in motivation. We get focused on other things and maybe our motivation drains a little bit. And then finally, plain old forgetting, right? We're building a new routine, but when it isn't a routine yet, it's not automatic. And sometimes we just forget to do the things we meant to do. So today I'm going to give you 3 strategies you can use to help you overcome each of those challenges when trying to create a new routine here in 2021. The first is to focus on small changes. One of the biggest mistakes we make when it comes to creating new routines, trying to build new habits, is trying to make a whole bunch of major changes in our lives at once. And the more changes you're trying to introduce at one time, the harder it's going to be. You'll be much more successful if you focus on a few small things to do, establish those as routines, and then move on to bigger and bigger challenges. The second strategy you can use to stick to a routine is try to minimize obstacles. It's already hard enough to build a new routine. You don't need to be putting obstacles in your own path. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier in 2021, don't actually buy food that you don't want to be eating, right? Don't fill your house with snacks and candies and treats. Those are going to create obstacles for you when trying to build this new routine. Similarly, if you want to be working out more, don't work out at a gym that's a 45-minute or hour drive from your house, right? That's going to be another obstacle that stands in the way of building a routine of working out regularly. And the last strategy is to create reminders. As I said before, one of the biggest obstacles when building a new routine is just simply forgetting to do those activities that are a part of the routine because we're busy mentally thinking about other things. So put things in your calendar. Use your phone to create little alarms for yourself as reminders, or honestly, if you want to go old school about it, paper your house with little Post-it notes that will remind you of what it is you want to be doing each day to help you build that new routine. The good news is, if you do these things, once a routine is established, it tends to work really well on its own. It tends to become pretty automatic. So the difficult time is in the beginning, and that's when these strategies will be most useful. So let's go over them one more time. The first strategy you can use to help you establish a new routine is to focus on small changes rather than big dramatic changes. Build on those small successes over time. The second strategy is to minimize obstacles. Don't make it harder. If there are things that are going to make it more difficult for you to stick to a routine, get them out of the way. And finally, create reminders. One of your biggest challenges is going to be forgetting to engage in these new behaviors. So do whatever you can to create reminders so that you actually know, I have to engage in this action. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of 3 Things to Do, and good luck with your New Year's resolutions. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week.